This video is going to give us a basic overview of utilizing the Transform Toolpath option. This is what our model looks like. And in previous videos we did a pocket facing operation and then individual pocket operations. But now I'd like to show you another approach to dealing with multiple details that are equally spaced. I'll access my Levels Manager, Alt-Z, make my active level, Level 1, turn off solids, and I'm going to make Level 3 visible. Click OK. This is the geometry that I'm working with. I'll backplot the toolpaths that I have currently in my Operations Manager. I'll drill it, and then come down and do the pocketing routine. So the existing toolpaths will only machine this one pocket. I need two more of them. They're equally spaced, 120 degrees apart. I'm going to go to my top view. I'm going to right-click in my Operations Manager, go to Mill Toolpaths, over and down to Transform. I'll select it. Now Transform Operations is to toolpaths what Xform Translate or Xform Rotate is to geometry. I can select what toolpaths I want to be affected by this. I'm going to select both of these. Do I want to translate it, which is in XY coordinates? Do I want to rotate it, which is duplicating my toolpaths around a center point? Or do I want to mirror it? Well, with this particular operation, I want to rotate it. And before we get into any other parameters, I'm just going to keep this really basic. I'm going to come up over to my tabs and click on Rotate and set my parameters. The first thing I need to do is specify the point for which I'd like to rotate my toolpath around. In this case, it will be my origin. I can pick a point. I can just click on this, go to my graphics screen by selecting my select arrow, and pick the center point of this arc. And it still maintains 0, 0, 0. I could put coordinates in if I choose to. Now for the number of steps, I do want a total of 3, but there's one that's already existing, so I need 2 more. My start angle, this is the angle for the first duplicate relative to the original operation. Well, my original operation is at 12 noon, so 90 degrees. I want the next one to be rotated 120 degrees from that. Next, the rotation angle, which is the angle between the subsequent operations, will be also 120 degrees. I'll click OK. And now the system has reproduced 2 additional toolpaths at 120 degree intervals. Go to Isometric View, Backplot. Now I'm only backplotting the Transform Toolpath. I'll go ahead and play it. So the toolpath for these 2 pockets are contained within this transform operation. In order to get all 3 of them, I need to post all of my toolpaths. Now I'm going to exit Backplot. I'm going to go back into my pocketing operation, into the parameters, pocketing parameters, and I'm going to turn off depth cuts. Click OK. Now notice, since this transform toolpath is relying on these toolpaths as their source, when I make a change here, it affects the transform operation as well, and I need to regenerate it. I'll regenerate all dirty operations. Now I remove the depth cuts just for the sake of saving time. I would not normally machine these pockets in one pass. But what I want to show you is I need to select all of these, backplot, and then play. And I'm going to step through. Notice my tool comes down and it drills, back up, and then it starts to do the pocketing. Drills and drills, then pockets and pockets. So what ends up happening, my tool changer picks up the drill, comes through here, drills my entrance hole, puts it back, picks up my end mill and pockets, goes back, picks up my drill, drills this pocket, then picks the end mill up again and machines out the material in my two pockets. That's not very efficient to me. So how can I fix this? I'm going to exit backplot. I'm going to go into my parameters for Transform. I have it grouping my toolpath output by operation type. Okay, so what that means is that it'll put all the drill paths together, it'll put all the pocketing paths together. That's why the tool change occurred between the drilling operation and the pocketing operation here, but didn't in the Transform operation. It was more efficient in the Transform operation. So somehow I need to contain these two operations within this. I could do that by saying copy source operations and leave this checked. Disable posting in selected source operations. What this will do is it'll take these two operations, copy them in to my Transform operation, arrange them the way I have selected here, and disable the posting. Basically turn the posting off on these two operations, so when I go to post my code, I'm only posting this Transform operation. These two remain as the source, but they are not directly used for the code for my machine. I'll click OK. It goes out my toolpath for the pec drill and the pocketing. I need to regenerate my Transform operation, which I'll do right now, and let's access backplot. I'll go ahead and step through this now. My drill comes down and drills the entrance hole for the first pocket, entrance hole for the second, and for the third. Now I'll have a tool change. It'll get my end mill and start to do the pocketing routine for the first, remove the material in the second pocket, and remove material in the third pocket. The quantity and the spacing of the duplicated toolpaths is strictly parameter driven. So I'm able to go back into my parameters category and modify that at will. And using the method that we used in this example, any changes that I make in the source toolpaths will also be reflected in the Transform toolpaths once they're regenerated. So this gives us a basic overview in utilizing the Transform toolpath options.